Just like you said. I mean, I did a walk around just to see what they've created.
Fantastic.
It is one of the most spectacular
Absolutely.
venues for a live event that I've ever seen.
Correct. Nothing to even rival it in this part of the world, and we couldn't be more thrilled that we are doing our event there. The event obviously will be.
मैं अंदर की बात बताऊं, हम सब एक ही टीम है और ये इवेंट होने वाला था कहीं और मैंने दीपक सर को बोला, बार बार बोला, और फाइनली वो मान गए कि सर इतने अरसे बाद फिल्म फेयर आ रहा है, इस बार कुछ और बड़ा करते हैं, कुछ और मतलब बड़ा कर दें इस शो को. Let's bring the glory of FilmFare Awards back. And for that, we should have a venue that is befitting for our glorious event. तो मेरे बार बार कहने पर I chewed Deepak sir's brains till he finally got it done. Sir, you are great. He got it done, and now we have the best venue in, you tell me, in India, in Asia, I don't know. It's like the best venue. It's
not only the best venue, we have a lot of bests which we'll talk to you about. So just to continue, while the event live is happening on the 30th of August, the event will premiere on mass media on the 9th of September. The television partner, as usual, will be Colors, and it will be premiering at 9 p.m. on the 9th of September. As has been the practice over the last 3-4 years, we're delighted that we've been able to extend our global partnership with Facebook, now Meta. And what this results is that apart from being aired on one of India's largest television platforms, we are able to simulcast this not only in India but across the world on Meta, and thereby ensure that the awards in all its grandeur reaches out to Bollywood buffs not only in India but across the world. Just to give you some perspective, I mean, last year I remember when we looked at doing this, we were able to add, I think, about 200 odd reels, and thereby just increased the reach of the awards by about staggering 440 million. So I couldn't be more delighted that we've continued our association with Meta, and I'm also very happy that Manish Chopra from Meta is here with us today, and he'll also talk to you a little bit more about what the strategic partnership means for both companies. We are also very, very happy to welcome Wolf 77 as our titles partner for the first time into the partner fold of FilmFare Awards. Wolf 777, as many of you know, is a very, very credible brand in the sports news fraternity. And this is the first time that they're associating with FilmFare, and we hope that this is the start of a very, very fruitful partnership in the years to come. Speaking of the venue, the timing of the show, etc. Most excited to announce that the superstar sitting next to me, he's been no stranger to FilmFare, but I think he's donning a new role and a new avatar in our association with FilmFare, and for the first time has consented to host the FilmFare Awards, and you will see him in an absolutely fantastic avatar as he brings about new energy to the FilmFare platform. So all of you guys, I can trust you. Await his performance with, hold your breath and await his performances, because as is with everything he does, it will promise to be electrifying. But I'll just give a cue just to let you all know a little bit more about who are the other sort of Bollywood performers who will grace the FilmFare stage. So if you can quickly roll the AV, please. So, this was just to give you a quick glimpse on the host and the performers, also the date, time of the show. The tickets now, as I mentioned to you earlier, for the first time after a series of lockdowns, we're back with a live event. So the tickets very soon, perhaps by early next week, will be available on Book My Show. for all the fans to be able to want to be a part of it. That's it for me for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lamba, for sharing such wonderful insights with all of us. With this, may I now please request Mr. Manish Chopra, Director and Head of Partnerships for India at Meta, to please share a few words.
Thank you so much. And actually, thank you, everyone. Being here in person is something special, right? We've tried to do this association for some time. It's been quite a journey, right, the last 3 years. I look after our relationships, our partnerships for Meta, which is Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp for India. We've been associated with this forum, so thank you so much for the Times of India Group Worldwide Media for this association. Our platform has been something that's been so ingrained with movies, right? With movies in multiple ways, and also with all the personalities that are associated with movies. Nothing brings it together than the FilmFare Awards, right? So it is really a privilege to be associated with FilmFare Awards. We feel that the kind of way that culture is coming together on our platform, culture of all kinds, right? All wonderful aspects of culture coming together is really manifested today in the way Reels has really become pretty much the way people are consuming a lot of entertainment, right? So Reels on Facebook, Reels on Instagram, dramatic growth there. I believe that in an association like FilmFare, where we will be simultaneously broadcasting it globally, that's just one event, but you'll see FilmFare and all the personalities live on our platform through Instagram Reels, right? Much before and much after. And that's really the beauty of what happens, how wonderful moments that you've seen at the show then become moments that fans can engage with them, interact with them. So this is our endeavor, right? Taking a wonderful moment that happens and making sure that it lives in memories and on the phone for millions of people across the globe. Thank you so much for this association.
Well, thank you so much for those wonderful insights. And before I proceed, I'm sure all of us know how popular Reels are these days because we are constantly engaging with Reels on Instagram. So before we proceed, Mr. Chopra, may I ask you something before we proceed? So I was just telling our audience, I think they are well aware of this fact that we know how popular Reels are because we are constantly and consistently engaging with it. Could you please tell us what kind of growth are Reels seeing in India?
Sorry. In India right now, 50% of the time that people are spending on Instagram and Facebook is actually consuming video. And a lot of that is on Reels. So fundamentally, it's become a format or a way that people can find what their passions are. And for our creators and influencers across the platform, it gives them a wonderful opportunity to reach new audiences. I start saying this more and more now. Reels is not what India has adopted, but what Bharat has adopted, right? And the popularity of Reels across the world, from Nagpur to New York, is really happening with small creators being able to find both that avenue. I think fundamentally we're just at the beginning, right? Reality is it's just been 2 years since we launched Reels, so a lot more to come.
Fantastic.
One second. I just have a quick question, Manish, since we are now speaking in a meeting in person for after a couple of years gap. So we all of us have heard about the transformation of Facebook into Meta. Just elaborate a little bit more if you can about what's the strategy for the metaverse.
The metaverse, as simply put, right, is about creating a social, immersive connection. So if you can think of, visualize a place where even us not being here physically in proximity with each other, but being able to create an immersive way that we can feel our presence and be able to interact, that's really what the metaverse means for the way we are going trying to create that. It is a couple of years away, for the simple reason that it's going to be a very rich kind of experience and will need devices, infrastructure, and that entire virtual and augmented reality vision to come together. We believe in it. That's the reason why we've gone ahead and put a lot out there, right? And we believe this is the journey, the bridge from today's internet to the future of this immersive internet.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all of those wonderful insights. With that, may I now request Mr. Jitesh Pillai, editor FilmFare, to please share his thoughts.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think Deepak and Manish have pretty much spoken. Quickly, 2 points. 109 years of Indian cinema. Filmfare turns 70 this year. And we've happy to have chronicled the excellence in cinema since 1952. Out of which 20 years I have been a part of, so I'm very, very happy. And it's really straddling so many mediums. I mean, in the 60s we started with the South Awards, and I think 64 it was, and 1953, 54 we started the main awards, and we really sort of chronicled the changing times of the Bollywood, the regional landscape, Bollywood landscape, and it's been an extremely amazing journey for me. The Filmfare Awards are associated with a lot of memories. As a rookie reporter, seeing Akshay Kumar doing Tu Cheez Badi Hai Mast Baas, and Rekha ji's first performance at the Filmfare Award, Sri Devi ji's first performance at the Filmfare Awards. For me, it's the moments. Dilip Saab presenting Lata Mangeshkar with the Lifetime Achievement Award. For me, the moments really are what Filmfare was, and the wonderful, wonderful performances. It was amazing. The kind of memory we have. It's really been part of our landscape, and it makes me feel very happy. And also, it's interesting, from movies to OTT to regional, we have sort of straddled all the various genres of filmmaking. And it's beautiful. Again, I say Filmfare, 70 years, more power to Filmfare. And this is a baby boy who came into my office with a lot of Nutella for me, and I think some 20 tubs of Nutella. So he's really special. I mean, I remember him doing cartwheels with Shah Rukh after he won his first. This is I think 2011. So we've got a very fine. I mean, I have very, very fond memories of our host with the most, Ranveer Singh. I hope for your continued support in the years to come. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, I think before we move forward,
सर एक पहले बताओ, अगर मैं ज्यादा रील्स बनाना शुरू करूं मेरी फॉलोइंग बढ़ जाएगी?
बिल्कुल बढ़ेगी।
एल्गोरिथम से हेल्प मिलेगी?
बिल्कुल मिलेगी।
चलो सुन लो पब्लिक,
फोटोज भी डाल दे रही है।
मेटा के कर्ता धर्ता ने बोला है, अगर आप ज्यादा रील्स बनाओगे तो आपकी फॉलोइंग बढ़ेगी।
मैं आप फोटो
किस टाइप के बनाने चाहिए सर?
हर तरह की रील्स।
म्यूजिकल?
बिल्कुल।
म्यूजिकल?
Music is very big. Music is big, but dance is very big, and remixing or collaboration is something that's really helping.
कोलैबोरेशन बोले तो?
अगर आप किसी क्रिएटर के साथ कोलैबोरेट करें,
पॉइंट नोटेड मेलॉड। अब देखना, रील पे रील, रील पे रील, रील पे रील। सर, आपका शो इस बार जैसे होने वाला है, पहले कभी नहीं हुआ होगा। My intention is to create a memorable night for our audience, our beloved fraternity, celebrate excellence in films, and do justice to the glorious Filmfare. The glorious Filmfare. 70 years. 20 of them with you. 20 years. एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाए यार. Stalwart of entertainment journalism, Mr. Jitesh Pillai, who has seen me for my first day, who has watched my baby steps in Hindi films, so kindly put me on the cover in just my debut year. Jitesh, I must tell you here today on a public platform, I don't think I've mentioned it, or I appreciate you enough. When you put me on the cover in my first year, just after Band Baja Barat, I remember the tagline ever so clearly. Singh is king. Ranveer Singh takes the industry by storm. It meant a lot to me. It was a pat on the back from somebody who is very senior, and it gave me a lot of encouragement and a lot of motivation. You were 19 years old. What do you mean you saw Akshay Kumar doing two cheese badi hai mast? What do you mean?
I was a rookie reporter
And you were on the set, or you saw it
on the FilmFare stage.
on the FilmFare stage? And what have been some of your most memorable film fairs?
Hello, this is a
कि
Q&A. I have to
Oh,
ask.
sorry. Okay. मेरे हाथ में mic देना dangerous है जी. I can just go on. Stage दो, mic दो, entertainment show बन जाएगा. That's all I need is a stage and a mic. दीदी आप मुझे लेके जाने के लिए आई हैं? ठीक है. कॉफी दे रही है. Thank you so much. मुझे लगा आप mic छीन लोगी. Thank you. So yes, I am all set for your questions, but I want to tell you all how excited I am to be hosting FilmFare Awards for the first time. I've performed a few times. I've won the FilmFare Award a few times, and let me tell you some of my most cherished memories of my life have been on those nights, the nights of FilmFare. You know, when I won for Bajirao Mastani Best Actor, my idol, the guy who made me want to be an actor, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, was sitting there in the first row. I don't have words to explain to you how much that meant to me. When I won for Gully Boy, I received the trophy from Madhuri Dixit. That was again a life moment for me. To have Deepika, her parents, in the audience to win Best Actor when she won Best Actress for Piku. Our family was there. They're very fondly remembered, cherished memories, emotional life moments for me and the people who I love the most. There is some magic around FilmFare. There's some magic around the FilmFare Awards. And it's inexplicable, which is why I'm ever so excited to be hosting this time. I think my personal favorite was when Shah Rukh Sir and Saif Sir hosted. It was one of the more entertaining ones. And I have my long-time partner in crime, my dearest Baba, Arjun Kapoor, who I'm going to be hosting with. So we are, the entire team actually, is putting in a whole lot of work, and hopefully we'll create entertainment extravaganza. I'm really thrilled with the lineup, sir. Some really talented artists have been cast as the performers for the show. And I'm really looking forward to being on stage and celebrating excellence in Hindi films. Excellence in Hindi films से याद आया, आपको मुझे कुछ पूछना है?
Since he's answered half my questions already, I still ask you.
अच्छा, stage और mic दो danger है.
Okay, my first question, which you've already stolen, but still I'll ask you. Tell me your childhood memories of FilmFare.
My childhood memories of FilmFare, I couldn't wait. देखो, I've always told people of how I've always been a filmy bacha. You know, like really filmy. Watching movies on VHS, 90s baby. And we didn't have the internet or phones, so it was the physical copy that used to come home. And the day it came, my God, I used to sit down with it and go through every page. I used to read it cover to cover multiple times. I used to cut out pictures and keep them. So I've been reading FilmFare since my childhood. It was very exciting, especially the awards issue, and especially those anniversary issues. You know, the special issues are indeed special. I'm sure you've had to do with many of them. No? So yeah, the premier, how do you say, the premier film entity, I would say.
Thank you. Thank you for all that fulsome praise. Tell me about your FilmFare Award moments.
FilmFare Award moments, I'll never forget. The first time I was performing on Band Baja Barat songs. I just made my debut, nervous as hell. and I was performing Tarkibe, and it was designed such that my picture was on the AV and it would reveal itself, and suddenly I would turn and boom, start performing. I remember the reveal happened, I turned around and I made the novice mistake of not peeking into the audience to just get a vibe. So when I turned around, the first person I see was Amitabh Bachchan. I was like, I completely forgot all my steps, and then I caught it later. So that performance, Anushka and I were performing on Band Baja Barat. So my first ever performance, winning Best Debut was a huge moment for me. Validation, be on the stage of all stages, being honored for my work in my first film was immensely encouraging and motivating. Uh, I feel like if I hadn't got that validation, my journey would have been very different. I would have been a different person, my choices would have been different, but getting that validation was so important for me, so significant for me. Um, then winning, there were many more. Every time I performed, I remember the Ganesh Hegde was the choreographer in one year when we did the the year of Ram Leela, and that performance was hilarious. And I continue to get feedback for that performance. People keep going to YouTube. Yeah. Bye, 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 bye. That performance. Then of course my tribute to Mr. Aditya Chopra, my mentor. And on the same evening, I won Best Actor for Bajirao Mastani. Deepika won Best Actor Female for Piku, and both our families were there. Mr. Amitabh Bachchan was present as well, my idol. He's sitting right there, clapping for me while I'm winning my first award. It was like, I can't explain how much that meant to me. Assam was a blast. We had a blast. We had all these satellite stages. The crowd in Assam was just, electrifying. They were just, the energy in that house that night was something else. So I have very fond memories of performing and receiving awards. Best actor, what else? Bajirao Mastani. Then there was Padmavat, Gully Boy, and I think, are the nominations out? Not yet? Okay. Time hai. Hopefully, I'll be nominated this time also. This is for 2021. Okay. सोचिएगा मेरा सर, मैंने भी फिल्मों में मैंने भी थोड़ा बहुत काम किया है. So yeah, I think it's the first time I'm hosting. I've danced a bunch of times. Hosting, let me tell you, between performing on stage in the capacity of a dancer is very different from host. According to me, hosting takes 10 times more work, 10 times the amount of time. So yeah, we're sitting with the writers, we're coming up with jokes, we're plotting the show very meticulously, scripting moments, but of course the overarching and paramount idea is to celebrate cinema and celebrate those who've achieved a degree of excellence in Hindi cinema. And I'm very much looking forward to this year's show. I'm very enthusiastic about creating what hopefully will be considered one of the better nights. My commitment to you, sir.
I also want to know on your take on biopics and especially how you morphed into Kapil Dev sir.
मैंने जाके सीधा उनके घर पे पहुंच गया और उनके गेस्ट रूम में 2 हफ्तों के लिए ठहरा. It was a very fulfilling process. It's very different from when you're creating a character with a blank canvas versus playing a person who people know about. So in the initial bit, I asked the ADs for all the video footage of 83, and they put a folder on my iPad, And I was like, इतना ही है? He said, sir, 83 में इतना ही video था. मैं बोला, इसमें तो होगा नहीं, it's insufficient. Now what do I do? So I went to Kabir sir and he said, we should just go and hang with Kapil sir himself. And the best part for me is that at that stage in your life, you become a storyteller in a sense. You want to share your life experience. So he would generously come back from work. I would train for cricket all day. He would go to work. And in the evenings, we'd meet at about 7 o'clock. And I just keep asking him, taking notes, videographing him, recording him from like 7 in the evening, eating. All of us would sit around 7 to about 11. It was just like the Kapil Dev show. And I was just absorbing. That was a 2-week process. And when I came out of there, I feel ready.
Amazing, amazing. Also, you this upmarket boy. How did you end up with Gully Boy?
What do you mean upmarket boy?
You know,
What do you mean?
This Bandra boy, and when you morph into something like a Gully Boy, rapping and all of that, how much sort of effort does it take, or does it come easily to you, rapping and stuff like that?
The cool part about sir, thank you. The cool part about where I was born and raised was actually like the border of Bandra East and Bandra West. It was like right on the border. So I had the good fortune of growing up in a place where I got the best of both worlds, like very, in many ways it's explicated in the film Gully Boy, एक दुनिया में दो दुनिया, उजाला और अंधेरा. It's like Mumbai city, you know that song, कोई मुझको ये बताए क्यों ये दूरी और मजबूरी, इस दुनिया की क्या स्टोरी, किसके हाथ में इसकी डोरी, राइट में बिल्डिंग आसमानों को छू रही, लेफ्ट में बच्ची भूखी सड़कों पे सो रही, कैसी ये मजबूरी. It explicates how Mumbai is a tale, or it's almost like two worlds rolled into one. You have a glimmering skyscraper on one hand and you have adjoining to it, slums. So I was on the border of Bandra East and West where, I'd go to Bandra West to school, where I would, be engaged and interacted with haves, the more affluent kids of the suburbs. But then I'd come back home and I'd go to play cricket on the east side, and all my friends there, weren't as affluent. So I got to see, I was at a vantage point where I got the experience of both worlds. And therefore the intrinsic essential idea of Gully Boy, which is the divide, I had an insight to that from a very, very young age.
Finally, last two questions before I let you go. You have like a fiery chemistry with your wife. On screen, are you competitors?
On screen, definitely not. I am not a competitive actor at all. I have a theater background, and they teach you at a very early stage in your training some of the foundations of that kind of training are constituted by the ethos of collaborativeness. To me, from what I've learned, not just in my training, but also in the 12 years that I've been acting in films, is that you're only as good as your co-actor. You will give what you get. It takes two to tango. I don't subscribe to one-upmanship, upstaging, and I've had, unfortunately or fortunately, co-actor experiences where they have, tried one-upmanship and trying to upstage and hogging the limelight in the frame, as they say, and I don't subscribe to that. I think it's very defeating. It's teamwork. Filmmaking is teamwork. Scene work is a collaboration between actors. It's like jugalbandi. It's give and take, give and take. On the flip side, I have also experienced the good side. Actors who are so secure, who are so giving, and my wife is certainly one of them.
Before I let you go, I'm told you're an ace mimic. You have
Oh
to
my
mimic.
God.
You have to mimic someone for me.
I have to. I have to. You watch me on the show. On the night of the show.
Either you rap or you mimic.
इतना
One,
पैसा
just
में
one.
इतना ही मिलेगा. I don't know if they'll be able to use it because Duri is from Gully Boy is from XL has sold the rights to Z Music, which you've told me not to select any songs from Z Music. एक तो ये यार अलग लेवल का धांधली है, कलर्स में अलग से म्यूजिक राइट्स लो, फेसबुक के लिए यार मैं तो क्रिएटिव आदमी की ना खैर. Rest assured, it will be song, dance, entertainment, extravaganza, bonanza. The Babas are back. And I'm really, you know what I'm really looking forward to is going to Arjun's house and sitting on script sessions. Those are some of my most favorite parts of preparing for the show. He is a riot. There are very few people in my life who can make me laugh the way he does. He knows everything. He's like a filmy encyclopedia. He knows everything about everything. He knows more than Jitesh Pillai about the things, the ongoings of the Hindi film industry. So he is somebody who I love immensely, and I'm really looking forward to collaborating with him. What if I imitate you, Jitesh? Would you like that? Would you like that?
Please go ahead.
Okay, you tell me who to imitate, I'll imitate.
Yeah, Deepika.
Guys, I'm not such a good mimic also. Plus, I am going home right after this. So yeah, I want to eat tonight.
I think we'll let you off. You've been
No, no.
very, very good.
No,
boy.
give.
Alia?
Wow, what a very difficult ones you are giving, huh? I can imitate Jitesh. What was that show you used to have on digital?
Famously filmed.
Yeah. Welcome to Famously FilmFare. Tell me about the first time you met Deepika. Just he's
played
such
it
a
in your hands.
such
I
a
played it in
nosy
your hands.
Parker. He wants to know everything. I have to tell you, Jitesh and Anuradha and all the youngsters in the FilmFare team, Raghuji, y'all are some of my favorite people in show business. In this journey of 12 years, I've really met such good, warm-hearted people. I appreciate you and everything that you do at FilmFare, and may you continue to shine. May all your proteges one day grow up and be as great as you. And I promise you, I'll do my best to create the biggest and best spectacle that you would have seen on the FilmFare stage. Cheers.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and that kind of infectious excitement with all of us. Well, I have to say that that was an interesting conversation, I'm sure you'll agree, between Mr. Pillai and Ranveer Singh. I'm going to now request everyone who's present at the dais to please step forward for the photo opportunity.